Welcome back. Today we're going to be doing another free response question for AP Statistics. This one says, a bakery monitors the weight of muffins and croissants it produces. The weight of the muffins follows a normal distribution with a mean of 5 ounces and a standard deviation of zero point 0.4 ounces. The weight of the croissants follows a normal distribution with mean of 4.5 ounces and standard deviation 0.5 ounces. Okay, so part A is what is the mean total weight of one muffin and one croissant? Okay, so in this case, we know that the mean of a muffin is 5 ounces, and the mean of a croissant is, let's see, where was it? 4.5 ounces. And so actually, all we have to do to find the answer to this first part is add those two things together, right? The expected value for the total weight is equal to the expected value for a muffin plus the expected value for a croissant, which is equal to 5 plus 4.5, right? Because recall that the mean is the same as the expected value in these contexts. So this is going to be 9.5. And so therefore the answer is 9.5 ounces, right? That the total amount of weight on average that both of them together would weigh would be 9.5 ounces. Okay, let's move on to B. What is the standard deviation of the total weight? All right, so in order to find the standard deviation of the total weight, we need to use this equation here, which is that standard deviation of the total is equal to the square root of the standard deviation of the muffin squared plus the standard deviation of the croissant squared. So that's going to be the square root of 0.4 squared plus 0.5 squared. Because if we go back to the question, they flat out tell us it's 0.4 for the standard deviation of the muffins and 0.5 for standard deviation of the croissants. And then if we plug that in our calculator, we can get that that is approximately 0.64 ounces. We're not going to be able to get something exact, but that is okay. This approximation is good enough. Okay, let's move on to part C. What is the expected weight if a customer buys 3 muffins and 2 croissants? So in this case, we expect that each of the 3 muffins will be 5 ounces. That's our expected value, our average value. And since there's 3 muffins, I'm going to do 3 times 5 plus 2 croissants. So each croissant we're expecting to be 4.5 ounces. So plus 4.5 times 2. So then 3 times 5 is 15, plus 4.5 times 2 would be 9. And then if we add those together, we get 24 ounces. And there we go. 24 ounces is our solution there. Okay, part D is the last part for this one. It says, assuming independence, what is the standard deviation of the total weight in part C? So basically, if we did this many different times, if we weighed 3 muffins and 2 croissants, and we did that again, 3 muffins, 2 croissants, we find the weight. 3 muffins, 2 croissants again, we find the weight, and so on. How much would essentially the standard deviation be in that scenario is what they're asking. So in order to find that, what we need to do is we need to say, well, the standard deviation here is going to actually be following the same pattern as before, where we're going to do the square root of the first one squared plus the second part squared. So in this case, it's going to be 3 times 0.4 because 0.4 was our standard deviation for the muffins. And then it's going to be 2 times, I think it was 0.5. Yeah, it was 0.5 for the standard deviation for the croissants. And then we're going to grab a calculator and find out what that is going to be. That is going to give us the square root of about 2.44, which that is going to be about 1.56. So the standard deviation is about 1.56 ounces. right? And so that tells us, I mean, we don't really need to do more than that. That's the question essentially done. But that essentially is going to be able to tell us the answers to other such questions. If they were to ask us if we continue to do this experiment more times, what would occur and things like that, or not what would occur, but the probability of various outcomes occurring regarding continuing the experiment. But that's all for this one. As always, if you have any questions, please leave those in the comment section, and we'll see you for the next one.